It's not your fault. I wonder if that recorded anything. Welcome to this class. Inhale. Another 3. 2. One more. And hold. 5, 4. Let it burn. 3, 2, 1. And slowly rise. Good. I'm going to practice a tree pose next, so soft knees. So we never want to lock out the joints, we always want to work the muscle and the tendon, not the actual bone. I'm going to start with the hands on hips, or you can bring them out to side for extra balance. Finding a space on the wall or ceiling. But start with your heel into your leg and see how your balance is. Switch your bum cheeks on, so squeeze your bum cheeks and bring that knee out to the side as much as possible, opens up the hips nicely. If you're nice and stable here, try and bring it just under the knee. Again, soft knee. Deep breath. Next inhale, try and bring it just above the knee. You can use your hand. So think of your leg pushing against your foot, not the other way around. Squeeze your bum cheeks, bring that knee out further. If you're stable, hands into prayer. One more deep breath. Good. And release, coming back down. Let's see how we get on at the other side. Squeezing the bum cheeks, knee comes out, soft, stabilising leg. If that feels okay, bring it just underneath the knee. Bum cheeks squeezed, pushing that knee out, opening up that hip. Deep breath. Keep that knee soft. If that feels okay, go ahead and progress it further. Remember, your legs pushing against your foot, not the other way around. And if you're fine here, come into prayer. And try and bring your knee out as far out as it can go. 3 breaths here. Good. Excellent. One more deep breath. Good. Back over to squats last time. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale. Squeezing the bum cheeks as hard as you can. Harder you squeeze, more building muscle, toning and strength in the pelvis and lower back. You might feel a lower back burning as you're getting blood flow. Your lower back's keeping you upright here. 4 left, 3 left, and then you can rest, or you can go into a hold for 5 seconds, or a partial hold. You don't have to come all the way down. 1 more, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, well done. Feel free to grab a drink, coming into the box position. Cat-cow, let's check in and see how we're feeling now in our spine. So cat stretch, might feel a bit stiff in your lower back, I certainly do. And then inhaling the cow. If you do feel quite tight when you do the cat, don't do much of the cow. Don't over-exaggerate that cow, because you might have a pelvic tilt anyway. So it's better for you if you hold the cat position for longer. I've been learning this week about anterior pelvic tilts. That can happen if you've been pregnant before, or if you stand a lot or sit a lot. Basically, if you just do anything, you can end up with an anterior tilt. So we want to do some work on that. If you ever feel like your lower back's tight and you've got tight hip flexors, you can pull on your pelvis, knocking it more forward. Coming down into child's pose, knees together. Exhale. And allow the muscles next to your spine, forehead on the floor, muscles next to your spine just to relax and give So the more stressed you are during the day or week, could be last week you might have had a stressful week and then this week it's catching up on you. I've seen that a lot lately. But your muscles and everything can tighten and not allow you to get into some stretches. It's the brain's way of protecting you from injury. So deep breaths and a slow exhale can help you get further into these stretches and relax. You're speaking to that parasympathetic nervous system, so the opposite of your fight flight we're talking to right now, we're trying to train. Deep inhale, pushing your belly out on the inhale, filling it, and slowly exhale, sink further and relax further, and notice any parts of your body that start to give. You might feel in your lower back's not as tense now, might be your bum. Good, coming back into a box position. I'm going to do some upper body work. So tucking the toes underneath. I'm going to come down. So if you worry about your upper body strength, feel free to come into a dip. We're going to go shoulder width apart stance, sending your elbows behind you, not out, because we're going to isolate the back of the arm and tone the back of the arm. So even if it's a small pulse, that's good. And after a few, looking for about 10, doesn't matter how deep you go here, so as long as you start to feel at the back of the arm, the tricep, that's what we're toning and strengthening. Hopefully, like, you're not feeling any, if you are feeling any tendon pain, like above the elbow, reduce the range of movement so there's not as much load on that joint. It's just not strong enough yet to go full depth, so just do more of a pulse until it is. Looking for 10, one more, good, into downward dog, relax the neck, you can paddle the heels out. Downward dog's great for upper body strength and it decompresses the spine and hamstrings stretch and calf stretch, core. Inhale, back to cow. I wanted to go in for another round of 10 if you can, even if it's just a small pulse, okay? You're the boss. If you need to stop and start, do 5 and 5, it's absolutely fine. If you're feeling it on your wrist, you can go on to fists and do these as well. Or you can stop for a few circles with your wrist as well. If it's pinching or cramping or burning or aching, it's working. Try and ignore it. It's annoying. 2 more. 1 more. So downward dog's going to be a little bit harder this time. Feel free to come into an extended child's pose, some more bend in the knee, or downward dog. So it's more shoulder work and you'll feel that cramp in the triceps and the back of your arm from that. Lovely. Inhale, back to cat. 1 more set in your own time. Getting harder now, hopefully. Again, take time. The slower you do it, you can do less reps and just do it super slow. Muscles under tension for longer. So it's a different kind of training. It's harder. Another 3 if you can. 2, 1. Good. Downward dog or a good bend in the knees for extended child's pose. Or you can rest in child's pose. It's up to you. Don't feel any pressure from me. Everyone's in their own journey, own goals. Enjoy that cramping in the back of the arm. Inhale, back to cat-cow for 3. Good. Feel free to grab a drink, shake off the triceps if you're feeling a bit tight there. Next, we're going to work more of the front shoulder and the pecs. Same kind of principle. Because we're working the shoulder, you might feel the downward dog more in your shoulder, but lightly triceps again. So we went shoulder width apart last time for the push-ups. I want you to go even wider. And remember, we dip in here. We're not coming all the way down to the floor. So the wider you go, the more load on your pecs and the front of your shoulder. But you're also using the back of the arm, the tricep as well. Coming down as far as you can, and hips stay higher than your chest. No pressure, just go down as far as you know you can get back up. As many as you can, or 10. And if you're shaking, that's good as well. It's your nervous system trying to figure out where to distribute your body weight. Exhale, coming up. 2 more, and it's like a pinching, cramping in your pecs and around that shoulder joint. Inhale into downward dog, or relaxing child's pose, and we'll paddle them legs out. And you might feel more in the shoulder now. Relax the head. Inhale, back to cow. Let's go a little bit wider, as you were. As many as you can, or another 10 again, in your own time, and as deep as you want to go. Or you can just literally do 2, and then rest in child's pose. So as long as you try to do something different. 5, excellent. 6, crampy, 7. These are hard. Don't think they ever become easier. 3. 1 more. Well done. Oh, send them hips back in downward dog if you can. Last set. When you're ready, so if you want to shake them wrists off, so I'm feeling it in my wrists there. You can go on to fist as well, but you are strengthening your wrists. Elbows out to the side to open up the chest. Notice where you're feeling it. If you're struggling to get back up, just take a smaller movement. Imperfect action. You don't need to be perfect. Last 4, 3, 2 more. Good. Oh, my bloody arms. Well done. Cat cow. For 3. Exhale. And feel free to grab a drink. So move over to the lower body. Oops, and abs. Okay. So we're going to start with fire hydrant. So knee directly under the mat. And we'll come all the way up. We'll come up with the leg, the foot as well. Opens up the pelvis nicely. Looking for 8. Again, feel free to go on to wrists if they're bothering you. And on the 8th one, we're going to do 8 pulses. So 1 more. And I want you to hold it. 8 pulls. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 6. As many as you can. 7, 8. And release. Let's do the other side. Up and down. Try and make sure you're not putting all that weight in that knee. You're distributing over both sides. You're not dumping in that hip. It's as level as you can get it. The pelvis. 2 more, and then we're going to pulse. And pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Child's pose, knees together. Exhale. You can shake it, circle off the wrist as well. So we're going to work the shoulders and the sides of the abs and piriformis and glutes. So knees should be bent. We're going to come right up into this position. So we're holding a side plank essentially. However, side plank clamshells. So they're a really good exercise for strengthening the glute and working out any imbalances and major, like it's majorly preventative. If you've got any weaknesses, it's hitting it as many as you can, or 12. Make sure your elbow's directly under your shoulder. It is shoulder work as well. It's like holding a plank for your shoulder. Another 2, 1, and release. From here, relax that shoulder, give it a break. Lateral leg lifts. 12, 1 second up, 2 seconds down. 5, stacking the hips on top of each other. One more. 12, good. We're going to go into side plank dips next. So knees a good bend all the way up, curving in the side of the core and slowly back down, all the way down. Good. 5, excellent. Doesn't matter how high, if you can get right up and bring in that curve, excellent. But as long as you're getting up off the floor, you're strengthening. This is what gives you a strong core. Works that deep muscle in your back that stabilises the pelvis. Oh, we're going for 15, by the way. 4, 3, let it burn in the shoulder. 2, 1 more. Good, well done. Swap over to the other side. So this might be a weaker side, so just be patient with it. Side plank clamshells. So pushing the hips forward opens up the hip flexors and any tightness. In and out. Looking for 12, 2. Try and keep them hips up as high as you can. Take note of any pinching in your glutes that you might feel. That's a piriformis issue. 7. Another 2. 1. Good. Relax that arm. Give it a break. Lateral leg lift. 2. Another 2. Excellent. Side plank dips. 15 again, or as many as you did the first time. Crunching at the side, at the top. Another 5. 2 more. Good. A few seconds rest, water break if you want one. I'm going to do some tension release next before we start the rectus, the 6-pack muscle. So this is really good if you've got any tightness around the hips. I want to teach you this, and like if you ever want to do it at home. Okay, so we're going to be in the downward dog. Feel free to just do the downward dog, or to progress it, go into 3-legged dog, sending your hips right back, opening up that hip flexor like so. Relax your neck, deep breath. On the next inhale, you're going to send that left leg, whichever leg you've got up in the air, over to the outer hand, like so. Just bring that leg up a little bit higher. Yeah, if you can, just take your time. As you can see, that's already a good stretch in the hamstring. You can go ahead and bring that knee down at the back and just try and relax into it. And you want your foot to be near your hand. on the outer. So deep breaths, and untuck the back foot. I'm just going to wait for them to settle in. Now you can come onto the side of that foot, sending your knee out further, opening up that hip. Notice how that feels where there's any tightness. Now the yoga teacher that I was watching doing this, she had her forehead to the floor. So I think we're all quite far off from that. But getting some blocks and moving down, elbows. So what you're doing here, so if you've had a stressful week or life or whatever, you want to be quite stiff, and especially if you've not been a dancer like me, because a lot of these yoga instructors have been dancers or gymnasts. So if you've been stuck in fight or flight for a while, you can be quite tight just from that, and your body's protecting itself. But the longer you hold this, some of these poses are held for 3 to 5 minutes, and you're just trying to switch off any stiffness and tightness. And every exhale, you're just trying to give a little bit more. You're not forcing anything, you're just putting your body weight on it. So I'm feeling most of this in my hip flexor at the moment. So the blocks are handy because you can come down onto your elbows, or if you've got like a stool at home, it really nicely opens up your hip flexors and can help with back pain that you've got, but making sure it's warm when you're doing it, so you've done a bit of something. Coming back into the starting position, tuck under the toes, sending that left leg back again. A big stretch. Try and enjoy the stretch as much as possible. Or you can just go into the downward dog. And the next time I come down, I'm going to come down to the pigeon pose. Like that. So you eventually want to sit on that bum cheek. And if you're getting pulled off it, it means that you've tightened your glutes, your bum cheeks. Try and come down onto your elbows if you can. Notice where's tensed up. So my glutes have tensed up, my quads, my back. So every exhale, I'm just going to try and switch and relax these muscles. So we never really hold these poses for longer than a minute, but you can imagine every minute you just get further down. I'm going to do the same with the other leg now. So coming back into downward dog. The other leg comes up into three-legged, or staying downward dog, and then into the scorpion. So sending your foot next to the hand. Notice how this feels. Feels slightly better on this side for me. Do you feel as tight where you're feeling it? Are you feeling your hip flex from the front of your back thigh? And if you turn that foot on its side, it brings that knee out and opens the hips more. Exhale and try and relax. Excellent. That's really good. So make sure you're not rolling onto the ankle, because I don't want it to be painful. It's just on the side of your foot. See if you can come down a little bit further to your elbows or not. Again, you could have blocks or a stool at home to use. Because the more your head's relaxed, you're able to get further into these. Next, inhale, three-legged dog or downward dog. Enjoy the stretch in the down three-legged. Then into pigeon. So really good for hip mobility and any tightness around them joints, lower back. Every exhale, sinking further into that stretch. Another 2 breaths. You should be feeling it on your glutes that you're sitting on, and or hip flexors. Good. Coming on to semi-supine. We need to blast the abs now because that took so long. Okay. Legs come up into tabletop, rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine, flattening your back against the mat completely. So no gaps, no curves in the lower back, it's all flat. From here, coming up as far as you can and down to your knees. Your legs are up as straight as you can get them. If you've got a good bend in them, that's fine as well. Coming down slowly. Try and get the shoulders off the floor, but anything, and you can support your neck with this as well. You're not pulling on anything though. As many as you can, or 20. And stop at the start as much as you need to. Halfway. Four, 3, 2 more, 1 more, good, well done. Inhale, arms rise for 2 deep relaxation breaths. Pause at the top with full lungs before slowly exhaling through the lips. The next inhale, push your belly out. Feel your ribs rise along with your chest, and the inhale, getting all that oxygen in. Slowly exhale, your ribs and chest will fall, and then your belly last. Good. 1 more. Next, Pilates crisscross, also known as a bicycle crunch. Opposite arm to opposite knee. Bringing one shoulder up off the floor at a time, as many as you can, or 20. The more you come over to the left and right, the more the sides of the stomach you're working. 8. Last 10, 9, let it burn. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 2 deep breaths. Inhale, pushing your abs out. Fill those lungs slower. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more. Legs straight up into tabletop. We're going to try and touch our feet. And all the way up and all the way down, as far up as you can go, as many as you can, or 15. 4, 7, 8. Last 5, 3, 2. 1 more. Oh, well done. Inhale, arms rise. One more deep breath in. One of my favourites next. Hip kick-ups. So legs straight up in the air, arms straight down, and you're pushing your hips up off the floor, or as much as you can. If you can't get your hips up off the floor at all, try and practice that movement, because it's the same muscles until you build the strength to actually get them off the floor, if that makes sense. So rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time in the lower back, and down with control. As many as you can, or 15. Toning that lower core, building connection to protect the back, and to have an awesome abs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, arms rise. One more. Hamstring flexibility with abs next, into scissors. So both legs are as straight as you can with biceps. So pulling the knee closer to your nose, coming up and down as you're swapping legs. Take your time as you're swapping legs and you're down, because that's loading the lower core And that's where we want to feel it. The lower core is more important than the upper core if you had to choose one. As many as you can, or 20. 8, 7, 6, 5, just do what you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Inhale, arms rise. One more deep breath. Be not to single leg stretch. So this same again, but your knees are bent as you're swapping over, up and down. It's a nice glute stretch as well. As many as you can, or 15. Last core exercise, and then we'll do some relaxation. I just want you to get a little burn and try and do a few more reps, holding on to that burning in your core. 5, 4, 3, 2. Excellent, well done. Well done. Feet together and carefully bring your knees out to the side. Just going to hold that position with a small curve in your lower back. So I'm going to do some stretches and then we're going to go into guided relaxation. Hopefully it'll calm the nervous system. Well done. That was quite advanced, that class, so massive well done for giving everything a go. That's all you can ask for. Bring both knees together and over to one side for spinal stretch, and you're going to look the opposite side. If that feels okay, increase the stretch by straightening the top leg and holding onto the back of it with the other arm. If it starts to cramp, you've just gone a little bit too far today, so just bend the knee again. Inhale, pushing the belly out on the inhale, feeling the stretch more. Then exhaling, you'll be able to move into the stretch more. Notice where you're feeling this stiffness, tightness. Is it above the hip, the ribs, the glutes maybe? Inhale, let's move over to the other side. Take your time. See how this side feels. See if you can take it as far. If that side feels okay, go ahead and straighten that leg and hold on to it. Relaxing the elbow. We did a lot of hip flexor work today, so let's make our way onto our fronts. So Sphinx or Cobra or Seal, but we'll get into it first. If you just want to make your way over to the front and just place your hands on your forehead on your hands and just settle in for a moment and see how that feels. Totally relax any muscles, the thighs and the back and the abs and hip flexors tend to tense up for this one. So we want to start from a place where we're relaxed into the mat. Hips are relaxed, pushing into the mat. The next inhale, try drawing them elbows slightly further out than the shoulders and try and settle in. So you'll feel the stretch on the base of your back. This is a back bend position. Your spine's meant to be able to do this. Every exhale, trying to feel that stretch in the base of your back. It's quite deep. If that feels okay, next inhale, bring your elbows in further, directly under your shoulders into Sphinx. This is open up the hip flexors. Your thighs might have switched on. Just try and switch them off if you can, but if not, you might not be able to today for whatever reason. Use your deep breaths. If that feels okay, you can go into seal, which is more of a back bend. Bringing your hands out and straightening your elbows. You'll feel that more in your base of your back. But you're trying to keep those muscles generally switched off if you're able to. One more deep breath. Coming back down, gently taking your time into the starting position with your forehead on your hands. Deep breath. Take your time coming into child's pose, knees together. Because you've just bent one way, so we're bending the other, so take your time, enjoy that lower back stretch. Okay, take your time coming into Shavasana, which is the corpse pose known as in yoga, so on our backs. So you can come into semi-supine and just relax if that's more comfortable for your back, or you can come into Shavasana, which is just arms, so hands facing the ceiling. And I'm just going to bring your attention to your breath and just observe it right now. So I want to keep an eye on the stopwatch. I just want you to listen to what I'm saying and try and visualize and observe and practice what I'm saying as much as possible. When you think about something else outside of this room, just bring your attention back to your breath or what I'm saying. Okay. So deep breath in through the nose for a count of 3, and then exhale slowly through the nose or mouth for a count of 4, your own count. But inhale through the nose and slower exhale through the nose. When we stress, we tend to belly breathe, and that can stress us out even more. So as we inhale and your belly rises, I also want you to make conscious effort to use your diaphragm, your chest, and use the ribs to get that oxygen in as well, okay? So inhale, belly rises, then the rib cage rises, and then the chest. And then on the exhale, the chest falls, the ribs fall, and then your belly empties, in that order. So it's 1, 2, 3, pause with full breath, slowly exhale for 3, 2, 1. That's the yogic breath work. Notice how your breath feels in your body. I want you to notice how your feet are pointing. So your heels will be pointed in the mat right now. Are your feet pointing forward or to the side? And feel how your body feels in the mat. So your calves and your glutes, your pelvis into the mat. You've got a little curve in your back. And you'll feel your shoulders and the weight of your body falling into the mat. You feel the back of your arms, your forearm on the mat, the back of your hands, and lastly your head. Just allow yourself to feel heavy in the mat. I want you to think about and visualize how your left big toe looks. And your small toe on your left foot. And how your knee looks on the left side. And we'll visualize how your right toe looks. And your small right toe. How your ankles feel right now. And how your hips feel in the mat. Completely relaxed. Bring your attention back to your breathing, making sure you're using the diaphragmatic breath work. You're using your diaphragm to get that oxygen in. Your chest and your ribs are moving up and down, not just your belly. We want you to relax your jaw, so relax your facial muscles, so having a bit of space in between your teeth. Deep inhale for 3 and exhale for 6, your own count. Namaste, thank you everyone for coming.